Good morning and welcome. This morning we have a request from Jim for the compound effect. And so we will dive into a small portion of that. There's multiple things that can be said concerning the compound effect. Talking about the compound effect, this is an element that, how can I say, it's a very misunderstood concept. The compound effect is affecting every person. Yes, there is no person that is excluded from the compound effect. There's no person that isn't affected by its flaws. You see, the compound effect is also a part of the ecosystem. It is something we cannot avoid. It's something we cannot dodge. But it is something that we can use to our advantage. For many of you guys have heard me say, I wouldn't give a dime for a person that doesn't have a temper, but I'll give less for a person that can't control it. Wouldn't give a dime for a person that doesn't know how to resist, but I would give less for a person that doesn't know where to use resistance. Resistance used in the right place is an incredible tool. Scripture says to resist the enemy. Resistance used in the wrong place will keep you where you don't want to be, doing what you don't want to do, living how you don't want to live, and receiving what you don't want to receive at the level that you don't want to receive it at. The compound effect is very much the same. It can elevate you. It can take you places that most would like to go but have no clue how to get there. But the compound effect can also take you places that every person says, don't do what that person did. I don't know what he did, but don't do what that person did. It can take you and spiral down very much. Many have experienced both. I have experienced both. That's why I become very conscious of the compound effect in the right direction. Let's take a look with a number of different scenarios. I know many of you guys get a chuckle out of this because I use this a lot, and that is the chocolate cake part of the compound effect. I decided one week that I'm just going to have chocolate cake every meal after I'm done with the main entree and have that yet. It tastes so good, and I just love it. And before long, it becomes habitual. And the first bite that I took, if I had just doubled over in excruciating pain and my heart exploded and almost died of a heart attack, or certainly close enough that I ended up in the hospital with an open heart surgery, I would have lost my taste for chocolate cake immediately. There's no way anybody could have possibly got me to have some more. But you see, let's move forward 20, 30 years down the road of me doing this on a regular basis, that exact thing will happen. But you see, generally, the compound effect starts so slowly that we don't notice the effects when we start. I ate this cake, nothing happened. Why not have some more? I'm only using that as an example, a metaphor. Let's come back and look at it from a different perspective now. I decide, hey, listen, I'm going to do what's right. I'm going to eat light, not eat too much. Overeating is such an addiction in the United States today. I'm not going to overeat. At the end of my entree, I'm going to drink some water instead of the chocolate cake thing, and I'm drinking water. Nothing happens. Nothing changes. The only thing that happens is the psychological part of me says, you got no reward for your choice. My conscious mind isn't very proud of the choice that I made because there's no reward. I don't feel better. I don't feel good. I don't have the sweet savor taste of the chocolate cake or whatever I would normally have, right? I don't have that. There's no reward. It doesn't feel good. You see, it doesn't feel good to do what's right most of the time, but I did it anyway. After 20 years, I'm still living where the doctor said shouldn't happen, shouldn't be possible. I'm still here. I'm using that as a metaphor. But now let's use another scenario. Let me say that I will give you guys all of you guys, $3 million right now, or I will give you a penny starting out on day number 1, and I will double that for 31 days. How many of you guys would like the $3 million right now? And unless you're trained with this compound effect, most of you would say, I'll take the $3 million, hands down, look at what that can do for me. Now let's move 5 days down the road. 5 days down the road, I have 16 cents. And the person with the $3 million is partying. He is hopefully debt-free. He is having a great time, buying new vehicles, maybe a new car, He's having just a blast of his life, having an amazing time. But I'm sitting there with 15 cents. Now let's move on down another 5 days. I might be at $5 something. And if we move 20 days down into it, I might be somewhere around $5,000, which is absolutely nothing in comparison to the neighbor that has the $3 million and just having a grand time. But if we move on down to day 31, all of a sudden I'm sitting with over $10 million. But you see, the same thing happened between the day 30 and the day 31 as happened between day 1 and day 2. What I had multiplied, or it doubled. Not multiplied, it doubled. So day 1 to day 2, what I had doubled. Between day 30 and day 31, what I had doubled. That's the same thing that happens in business. It's the same thing that happens in relationships. It is the ecosystem. What we do becomes habitual, and then it compounds itself. And at the beginning, we see no difference. I just, started making a few bad choices, but no big deal. I probably have all the answers anyway. Why do I need to invest in myself? On God's green earth, do I need to have any type of personal development? I've been doing well so far. I'll wait till I have a problem before I do anything. Why do I need a mentor? That just makes no sense at all. It takes the hard-earned cash that I have now, and I've worked hard for this. You see, to do what's right is never fun. Rarely, certainly not a lot of fun. It's hard. It goes against the grain. And then your mentor encourages you to stay the course for a long period of time until you receive what you started out for. You see, the compound effect works on both sides of the coin. The person that sacrifices, lets go of his or her ego and decides to grow and develop themselves and looks like their teeth smashed in once in a while because they've made some bad choices, and their mentor hands it to them on a platter, and they think that, oh man, I thought I was a pretty sharp guy, but now here I am looking stupid. No, you're not. But in the process of growing, sometimes we choose to feel like we look stupid. That's a personal choice. But once you've been down that path long enough, suddenly things begin to go even more up. And it seems as though every choice you're making has more of a positive effect than they ever did before. But that's after years of growth. But the person that chose not to grow themselves, when you were both young men, you couldn't see much difference between those two. They were very much the same. It's after the compound effect hit them both. It's after they were both 30 years older that you see a dynamic difference between those two. Incredible difference. The person that didn't grow him or herself looks at the other one and says, what I wouldn't give to have what this guy has. How did he get so lucky? I knew him when he was a young man. I was a young man too. Or I knew her when she was a young lady. I was a young lady too. What is the big difference? How did she get so lucky? How do some people just get lucky with everything they do? Well, you see, they didn't get lucky. They, however, positioned them in the right place to use the compound effect. They didn't allow this opportunity to pass them by. They took the compound effect and used it in the right way. They positioned themselves in the right place. They made a collection of good choices, small choices, little bitty choices. A penny doubled between day 1 and day 2 is just 2 cents. Nothing to get excited about. It takes a long time for it to get to where it shows up with a significant difference. But when it does, it continues compounding. And the person that finally sets up and says, wait a minute, what's going on around me? Why are these people doing so well? What's going on? By that time, you're already 10 years behind the schedule. It's okay. You can still pick up and go from there. Never too late to start, but it's never too early to start. The sooner you begin that growth, the sooner that tree is going to blossom into something magnificent. The sooner you will enjoy the results. You see, instant gratification is to go to the beach for a day and have a great time drinking martinis and margaritas and whatever else you'd like to have. Having a blast. Prolonged gratitude is owning the beach, doing what it takes now, and then later you own the beach and people pay you to show up, to have a day of gratification where you get to enjoy the beach whenever you want, but you also get paid for the beach. You see, my friends, the ecosystem has it set up for whoever is disciplined. The person that is most disciplined and understands the concepts of growth is the one that owns the beach. And the person that is least disciplined is the one that enjoys it first, but then can't afford to enjoy it later, while the other one enjoys the beach, including getting paid for it. Guys, I just encourage you to look at a few small disciplines that you can discipline yourself with today and then make those choices and be more disciplined. Maybe you need to apologize to somebody. Maybe you need to straighten something out real quick. You know, the pain of doing what's right now is only momentary, but the pain of regret is a lifetime. The pain of regret, the pain of creating habits that doesn't serve you, doesn't serve me. That's a lifelong regret. But then the reward for self-discipline is a lifelong journey of joy. Thank you, guys. Make it a great day and great weekend. Enjoy your weekend. Now it's our turn. It's your turn to grow. It's your turn to make a difference in this world before you move on. Guys, I consider this a great privilege and an absolute honor to be able to be on the phone with you guys for just a moment on this podcast. I just encourage you to lift your spirits up. Choose joy today. Make it a great weekend. And as always, remember, don't settle for less than who you are. May God bless you.